Okay, so we're about to start working on the food. It's really not a whole lot to do, so I'm gonna have to prepare my salads first, because once these are seared, it's done. But I'm gonna show you what I have here. I have some nice, if you see, some nice plump scallops. These are really just to make it look pretty. One on each plate. You got a little something to nibble on. I have some jumbo sized shrimps here, and basically what I did with both the shrimps and the scallops is you have cracked pepper, paprika, a little pinch of salt, some rosemary, some garlic powder, and olive oil. Tossed it up together. Oh, a little bit of chili powder. Over here, the salmon, I know it looks like there's a lot of herbs on it, but trust me, it does wonders for the flavor. And really all that is flat leaf parsley. Fresh flat leaf parsley that's chopped up. The same spices that I used in here, with one exception. I did add some dried steak rub to it. It doesn't have any meat flavorings in it. It just has a coarser texture of pepper, salt, and all of that good stuff that you like to have to give your steak that nice flavor. Well, it's going to give the salmon that nice flavor too. And I did add a touch of red pepper into the salmon, just to kind of kick it up a notch. And so these have all been marinating for about an hour. And we're going to let them continue to marinate as we go work on the salads. I'm all about the shortcut when I can. Yes, I know how to make frosting, and I couldn't make it from scratch, but why? I didn't feel like it today. So I went out and bought just a container of rich chocolate frosting that we're going to use to drizzle the pound cake. The reason why I have it on the stove is, of course, because the oven's on. And because the oven's on, it's going to help to get it a little soft and loose. I do have some cocoa powder here that I'm going to mix into that softened frosting. That's going to make it taste like, guess what? Tastes like we made it from scratch. But we didn't. I'm going to stick it right on top of there and get ready to work on the salads. So we're going to be making two salads. One is the heirloom tomato salad, and one is just a green salad. The heirloom tomato salad couldn't be simpler. We're going to keep it simple because of the fact that the fish, the shrimp, and the scallops have so much flavor in them. So basically what it is the heirloom tomatoes, some chives, red onions, a splash of Bragg's vinegar. Pay attention. Olive oil, and then this is just a mixture of garlic, salt, black pepper, and some dried Italian seasoning. And basically that's it. Toss them together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with chopping up the chives. Then we're going to go to the very fun task of slicing all those beautiful heirloom tomatoes in half. Now you can choose to use whatever tomato you like. If I didn't have heirloom tomatoes, I would use cherry tomatoes. If I didn't have that, I'd use grape tomatoes. You can use whole tomatoes and slice them up. Whatever tomato you want, it's fine. I wouldn't suggest you go with any kind of canned chives or nothing though, because just not the same flavor. I know sometimes you can go in the store and you can get like the chives and tomato mixture. Not the same thing. Chives are chopped. Add this to this bowl right here. Okay, I'm going to do the onions next. And basically we're just going to cut the onions in thin strips. There's no set amount of onions. If you're not a big onion fan, you can use scallions or green onions, or you can just cut back on the amount of onions you use. But I'm just going to, I have 2 onions. We like onions, so I'm using 2 whole red onions. And we're going to slice those into thin strips. That's all. That's it for the onions. Now, the fun task of slicing all those tomatoes in half. But it's going to be well worth it. It is. Alright. One down, 100,000 more to go. Okay, that's the last of the tomatoes here. Okay. Wipe my board off a little bit. Okay. How simple is this? Now we're gonna take it. I'm gonna do like this. I'm gonna shake up my breads. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit over it, like so. Probably about 2 tablespoons worth. I'm gonna do about the same amount of olive oil. Just drizzle like that. There we go. And this mixture here, I'm just gonna give it a healthy dose like that. Give it a good stir. Isn't that colorful and beautiful? I love a tomato salad. So, like I said, the choice is yours. Not as much onions, not as much tomatoes, whatever you prefer. Let's give it a good mix. If you don't have Bragg's vinegar, any form of apple cider vinegar, shucks. If you got white vinegar, just use that. Don't have to make no special trip out. Let me get a piece of tomato. Okay. I'm going to give it just a touch more of each. So, that. A little splash of that. A little splash of that. And a little splash of that. And then what we're going to do is take this, cover it up, and put it in the refrigerator. I bet, even though I'm not doing it, we are all about spice around here, but I'm not going to do it this time. But even if you wanted to like dice up, seed of course, and then dice up some fresh jalapenos and put in there, I bet that'll give it a nice kick. Well, my guess is not about, she doesn't like spicy food, so we're going to keep it kind of mild for her. This one fell on the counter. I'm going to taste that one. Just what I want. Look at how colorful and pretty that is. That is it. I'm going to wrap it up, put it up, and then we're going to make our green salad. Put it in the refrigerator. That was an onion. Okay, so we've hit our 45-minute mark. I'm going to check on this cake. I did cut my oven down to 300. I have a new oven, so I got to kind of learn my way around it. You probably noticed the last video the stove was white, now it's black. It went dead on me. Yeah, it's not done. You can look at it and tell. Look in the center. Still kind of wet and jiggly there. I'm just going to turn it around a little bit. And stick it back in the oven. Close the door and let it work. Okay, so this salad is going to be another simple one. This salad basically is going to be made of 2 ingredients plus, I can't even speak, I said plush, plus a little splash of those seasonings we use here. Make that 3 ingredients. I forgot my bell peppers. I'm keeping it colorful today, so I went to the Eastern Market and I found some really pretty peppers. So, and I felt that it kind of went along with these lettuce here too. Call me a nerd, I guess I can be like that. But this is the greens, cucumbers, and the bell peppers. I'm not adding anything else because that tomato salad is going to go on top of it, and that's already tomatoes and onions and all that type of stuff, so I'd just be kind of overdoing it. So I didn't cut the bottom of these. All I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off the outer leaves. That looks tacky. Throw them over here. And then I'm going to take the whole leaves and throw them in the thing. I'm going to wash them like that. You can use romaine lettuce. You can use whatever kind of lettuce you have. You don't have to go out and find these. It's got a really good deal on these at the market, so work them out. This is a romaine lettuce. It's just a baby one. You can also use spinach, arugula. I mean, it's whatever green you prefer. There's no set way of doing it. I call my kitchen Irie because I do what I want to do in it. What's flavorful for me, what's enjoyable for me and my family. And you're going to make your kitchen Irie by adding what you want to add to it. So, do whatever greens you want to do. Whatever works for you. Okay, so I picked off all the leaves, and all I'm going to do is, excuse me, black pepper. I'm going to wash those up real good. Wash the bell peppers and the cucumbers. We're going to slice them up and put it together, and we'll be done. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with cutting up the bell peppers. I'm going to stick the cucumbers in the side right there. I'm going to cut the tips off, so I'll get the seeds out of there. And then basically just cut it into strips, that's all. Put that over here. I'm going to cut these in half and then just, I'm going to do smaller strips. Okay, that's the peppers. Now the cucumber. And that will be it for the salad once we get the cucumbers done. So I'm going to cut the cucumber down the center. Like that. And what we're basically going to do is we're going to take the cucumber and kind of cut it on a bias or slanted. I'm not going to do the typical circles, as you call it. I'm going to cut the tips off though. I'm missing my trash bowl because I need to use it for the salad. So we're just going to kind of cut like this. It's going to come out in little strips. Things like that. Thin strips. I'm going to drop it in there with the lettuce. I'm going to put this in here with the lettuce. And pretty much the same steps as the tomato salad. Wipe off the board. I won't do as much because the tomato salad has that in there. But I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of this Bragg's. We're not doing any salad dressing, so let me make sure the salad's nice and flavorful. A little bit of Bragg's. Olive oil and a touch of that mixture, and there you go. And that is it. Give it a good mix. A good mix. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a bowl. Wrap the bowl up, put it in the refrigerator, and then we're going to get started on our seafood. There you go. I scooped it out just in case there is like excess, you know, water, vinegar, whatever at the bottom. We don't want to kill the lettuce. So I did that on purpose. And now I'm just going to take this and use my hand and make sure all that water get off of there and pull the rest out. Here we go. And that is our salad. Wrap it up and it's good to go. Alright then, so let's check the cake. Check the cake. Oh, it's looking good. Looking good. Looking good, but not quite done. So I'm going to stick it back in and then let it go. Make sure that when you're testing it, you test You test close to the center of the bump pan. I'm going to stick it back in for a little bit. It's not far from there though. Not far from there.